Hello, I'm Thuli Magubane, and welcome to the Success Rate podcast, where we talk about people's journey to success, how they got there, and of course, hear about the challenges that they faced along the way. We only ever hear about people's achievements, but never about the sacrifices, the moments they were depressed, the moments they felt down. And here we want to hear all about that. And more than anything else, to learn a lesson or two from each individual that we interview. Not only is the Success Rate podcast focused on South Africa, but we want to know about Africans who are successful overall. And today we're actually able to do that. Joining us is Tina Ardor, coming all the way from Kenya. She is a musician, she is a composer, and even a DJ. And I heard you're quite mean behind the decks there.
I try.
You try. So, Tina, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me here.
It's only a pleasure. I've had I would say the privilege of visiting your country
Yeah.
many years ago, and I'm due another visit. Kenyans are very friendly
Karibu,
people.
Kenya. That means welcome to Kenya.
Karibu, yes, I remember. And actually, I was very struck. I didn't know this until I learned much later on that with Swahili, parts of Swahili actually have Nguni words in them. So I was actually able to pick up certain words.
That's why they say if Africa was to have one language, it would be Swahili.
Yes,
because you find similarities in all the other Bantu languages that also are common
Like
in
Mvua.
Swahili. That's rain.
Yeah, and we call it Mvula.
Ah, see? Yeah,
So I was able
exactly.
to pick up in Mkono. I was like, that's a sleep. So it was
Exactly.
it was interesting to find that out. So being a young Kenyan, your career has started. You're a musician. You're getting popular. You've had over 1 million plays on Spotify, which is
Yeah.
something to be proud of.
Yes.
What has been your experience coming into South Africa? I know we don't have the best reputation in terms of treating our African brothers and sisters.
Well, while that has been the case, or you see it on the news and all that stuff, I've actually had a smooth stay while I was here for now 1.5 weeks.
Yes.
It's been amazing. South Africans are very warm. I have not met anything outside of the ordinary that I would call, weird. And also it's because of, I think, some South Africans know of Kenya, and we have hosted a lot of South Africans in Kenya, and so they're warm, they're welcoming to me, at least.
I'm glad. I'm glad that I don't have to apologize for us
you
South
don't have
Africans.
to. No, you don't
So I
have
should
to.
say Karibu.
Thank you, thank you.
So tell us about your journey. What attracted you to the music industry?
So first is what attracted me to the music.
Yes.
And music is something I picked up when I was a kid, easily. I think my whole family is musical. Not necessarily professionally trained musically, but they just have the knack for it.
Yes.
So it started way back in school, as usual.
Were you in the choir?
I've participated in some choir things here and there.
Okay.
Just 2 choirs, that's it.
Yeah.
But I was never, there every day or something. So we used to have this interesting competitions, music and drama festivals, where you do traditional music and you perform them. So you pick a community. So in Kenya, we have over 40
tribes. Yeah.
tribes.
Yeah.
And so these are very
you
unique.
Kikuyu?
I am Kikuyu.
Is that
yes.
one of the bigger tribes?
It is.
Yeah.
It is one of the biggest. And so usually you pick one of the communities, you look for a folk song, a traditional song from them, and then you perform it on stage and you compete as schools and all that. So that, for some reason, had always been fascinating to me.
Okay.
I picked up singing the psalms in church, for example. Now that one was like on your own. You have to figure out how this psalm is going to sound, and you're singing in front of the whole church and stuff like that. I never knew, honestly, when I was that young, I never knew I would be a musician.
Yeah.
I really never thought so.
So you were not that young child who was always the center of attention, always the entertainer in family gatherings?
Um, sometimes I found myself
Yeah.
because I know deep down I'm a cartoon. Why lie? But I think it's just the thing of being an extrovert in a way, which I'd say would consider me that. But also it's probably being a last born and things like that. So
Yes, yeah.
last borns apparently look for attention. Yeah. So but yeah, I've just been the kid at that time, the kid who loves music, who loves dancing, who loves looking up to her two brothers, because they're the eldest ones, so looking up to them and stuff like that. So my eldest brother is actually a big DJ. His music interest also started way back, and so I was looking at that, and he was also feeding down the music
Yes,
that he
to
was
you.
enjoying.
Yes, yeah.
He was feeding it down to me, and that actually forms a huge part of where my inspiration came from. And I just found myself getting into the industry almost.
Were you tagging along with your brother to gigs and things like that?
Of course, not when I was under 18,
Okay.
never, not in my father's house. um, I tried also even afterwards, but yeah, it wasn't that easy. But when it comes to listening to the latest music and stuff like that, my brother always played Kwaito like back in 2008 and all that. So I picked it up from then, house music and all that. Yeah, so I wasn't tagging along with him on gigs, but I was really keeping up with the music with him. And it got to me until I got to a place where I could actually go to gigs
Yes,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. I remember one time Shimza was coming
To Kenya, yes, yeah.
was coming to Kenya, and I bought a ticket, and I was just about to go, and then I was told by my dearest father,
Oh,
"You're not leaving this house."
ouch.
I remember that so well because
How old were you?
I was over 18.
Ah,
So
okay.
you see, that's why I remember it
Yes,
so
yeah.
much. And so my two of my brothers went for that show, and I stayed in the house, and I was just
Did
pissed
they
off.
go live for you to
You
watch?
know, things like that was years ago. But now,
Yes, yeah.
yeah, I was like, you know what? I don't know. I'm glad I found myself into this
Yes.
space which I enjoy. I love doing what I do.
And Tina, being a female DJ, I don't know why we have to put female, put a
I
prefix.
know, right?
Put a prefix in front of it, but we'll do it because everybody does it.
Yeah.
Was it difficult to break into the industry?
No, because I broke into DJ industry during COVID time. And COVID time, everybody's on lockdown, everybody's
Yes.
looking for something to do, kind of thing. And I had a friend who booked me before I even learned how to DJ. He was like, "The day you learn this thing, I have a gig for you."
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I was thinking about DJing in my head, and I was fooling around with decks and all that stuff, but I never really got to, do it until I borrowed a pair of decks from another friend.
And your
And
brother didn't let you touch his?
no, he doesn't have his own decks in the
Oh,
house.
okay,
So
okay.
there's nothing to experiment with. So I borrowed decks from another friend, and I was testing out what do these things do. And I mean, I've seen my brother doing stuff, so I could know, oh, this does that, this does that, and stuff like that. And I got booked to my first event, and I'd say people still talk about that one. It was
Oh,
back in
really?
2020. It was the
Wow.
best thing. It's because I think it was
So
because
what was in your set? Do you remember some of the songs in your set?
I actually do remember a couple of songs. I played Dlala Tuxin's Nika Nika. I know people went mad when I played that one.
Yeah.
There's a song by Regalo Joints I also played. I played my own music, of course. So the unique thing about this set is that I was singing while DJing. And guys, I've
Yes.
never seen that before.
Wow. Okay.
And
So
I
you
was,
were a pioneer of sorts.
yeah, sort of. And I'm singing my own music, which is already house music. And so guys are like, wait, this is one of our own, singing in our mother tongue, but in like Afro house type of
Yes.
things. And they're DJing at the same time. So I was also singing some of my stuff. And guys loved it.
No, it's super. So this is the Success Rate podcast. We talk about success. I always ask our guests their definition of success. So what's your definition of success?
My definition of success. Let's see. So success is obviously reaching a point where you've achieved your goals, whether or milestones, whether it's the small milestones or it's 5 years, 1 month even. For me, if you achieve that, you can call it success. And I try also to celebrate the small successes that happen in my life. So sometimes it's small, or you can picture it as small, but if it's a success, it's a success,
Yeah.
So you just celebrate it and move on to bigger things and create a bigger goal that you want to achieve.
And who has been the biggest influence in your life when it comes to success? Or maybe I should even say the person that you would say either opened doors for you or maybe created an enabling environment for you to progress and get to where you are right now.
I would definitely say my family. It really is. My mom is like my best friend. She's always been there to push me and tell me you can do it, or you want to do that, go ahead, do it. And then she's there. She calls herself Momanga.
Momanga.
Yeah, it's like mom manager.
Uh-huh.
So she's always there asking, are they paying you? Are they what? And I'm like, no, they're
Yes.
not. But you see, so you have to explain to her like it's a business and stuff like that. So yeah, for her, I'd really say, and the way I've watched her living her life and really achieving a lot and hustling and all that stuff, I look up to her and say, I want to hustle like that, and I want to get what she has.
Yes, I like
No,
it.
honestly, like I'm glad that she's in my life, that I have somebody to actually look up to and want to be like.
Okay. So you've recently collaborated with DJ Sbu. How did that come about? I mean, he's in Mzansi, you in Nairobi. How did the meeting happen?
Yeah, so like any other collaboration, which mostly happens either via someone or just via the internet. The internet is a huge enabler of collaborations around the world. This one also happened through my manager, Lunga,
Yes.
and he just told me, I think you can rock well on this particular song. And I heard it and I loved it and I rocked it. And everybody was excited with it, and we just decided to push it as much as possible. And I was so honored to meet DJ Sbu. He came all the way to Kenya
Yes, yeah.
to shoot the music video. And I mean, I took him around Nairobi, took him to a couple of, podcasts and stuff like that. Everybody who met DJ Sbu was surprised to the kind of man he is. He was, I usually say he's too humble. I mean, for the
Can
level.
you be too humble?
I know, I call
Can
it
someone
that.
to be too
No,
humble? Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, but like it's for the status that he has, it feels like he's too humble. Like he was saying hi to everybody. Even the security guard, the guy, the cleaner over there, the whole, he's just saying hi to everybody. And some of us were looking at that like, wow, okay, I need to learn from this kind of things. So yeah, it was a wonderful experience. And now we decided, hey, let me also come check out your country, Let me also see what Johannesburg has as well. That's why
And I'm glad that so far it's been a positive experience.
It has. It definitely has. I've been enjoying this big city. It's big. It is
But
big.
I mean, compared to Nairobi?
Honestly, Santon is like our whole Nairobi. That's how I'd like to compare
But I
it.
heard there's traffic. How's the traffic situation?
Where?
In Nairobi.
It's crazy sometimes, depending on which route you're using. But I hear guys going back home and they stay 2 hours on the road. I'm just like, I cannot relate.
Yes.
Because going to my home, it's just 30 minutes, 1 hour maximum. I mean, I'm saying 1 hour maximum because it's not like freeways and open roads like that. That's why the traffic might be hectic like that.
Yes, yeah.
Here you have big roads, like
the highways
from
and
there
everything.
to the kind of road. I kind of shrunk the first 2 days.
And you're like, whoa,
I did.
everything just seems
huge. Yeah. But I loved it. I think it's a good experience. It's good exposure because in Swahili we say, kuona mengi ni kujua mengi, which means seeing more is knowing more. So for me, this is one of the experiences that.
And then, have you traveled to other African countries, and how do we compare to them?
Well, I've been to Rwanda, Uganda, Tanzania. Tanzania is humongous. Like, it's just land and land and land. It's too big. We did a mistake with family one day and decided to drive from Nairobi to Dar es Salaam.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How long was that drive? 15 hours?
Yeah. It was 15 hours. Like, you get to a highway and you just tell mom, just go. I'll let you know when you're gonna turn. Just go. Just keep it moving, you know. Then you go like 100 kilometers on one road. Then you turn. You go 70. You turn. You go another. Mad.
It was for.
Uganda is not big. I wouldn't say it's called it.
But is
big.
it similar? I mean, because the countries you visited, I suppose, mainly East African, are they similar to Kenya? Did you experience any similarities?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that it feels local, even when I go around East African countries. It doesn't feel too foreign, like I've gone elsewhere. Like I was in Tanzania the other day, and I didn't feel like I've gone to a different country, really. Because there you go, you speak Swahili. Yes, sometimes our Swahili differs.
Okay.
But they're cool with that. You know, they know, you're from Kenya. They know how to identify Kenyans. Very
And I'm
fast.
sure even from the accent they can pick up.
Exactly.
Even if you're speaking a Swahili.
Exactly. So Rwanda, they speak Kinyarwanda, I think, and a bit of Swahili, which is a good thing. Rwanda is a beautiful country.
But you could pass as a Rwandan.
I can, actually. They all thought I was Rwandese. And I'm like, guys, I'm not. Thank you, but I'm not. What of you guys? Kigali is beautiful. It's very hilly, but it's very beautiful. Uganda is very cultural. Even Rwanda has that. But Uganda is very cultural. And yeah, I think all countries are unique in their own sense. But as an East African community, we all feel like we're home, whichever country you step into.
All right.
Yeah.
And then what are your aspirations? What is it that you're looking to achieve? I mean, you're still young.
Yeah.
The journey is still long.
I
What
mean,
are the future aspirations?
So, like, I've always, once I realized I'm getting into this music thing for real, and I'm doing it for real, I started having this, looking at drawing these pictures, saying this is how I want my things to look like. And one of the people that has inspired me to draw this kind of picture was Miriam Makeba. There's some live performances that she was doing, and I was like, this is amazing. Like, at her age, what she was doing, I'd like to do that. So there's a lot of live performance on stage, minus DJing, playing with a band and stuff like that, which is something I'm getting into in 2024. And just incorporating experiences in live performance and putting it also into visuals, because I tend to get very creative when it comes to visual ideas. Like, you have a song, and after the song, you just picture the whole music video.
Yeah, I was about to say, you picture the video already.
The music video is already full, like from start to end. You're like, if only some of these things were easily affordable, because we're not going to pretend like they're just quick.
Happen like that.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly. So I would love to, my future, to have that space where all these things are just easy to put together and be an artist and give out that art without too much, problems or challenges in that.
Is there any big festival that you'd like to perform at one day?
Nowadays, back then, when, for some of us who were, loving electronic dance music, everybody wanted to go to Tomorrowland, Ultrafest and stuff like that. But nowadays, there's so many festivals, you can't even decide which one to go to, which one to not go. Like, there are many festivals and many are coming up. And so for me, it's not about the name. I mean, fine, if I get to a big festival, that's cool. But it's also about who am I, what's my audience? Do they like my music? Do they appreciate the kind of music I'm doing and the kind of art I'm trying to give them?
All right. So tell our South African audience, why should they be listening to your music?
That's a very interesting question. Why should they be listening to my music? Because we, first of all, music is a very sacred language. It unites everybody around the world. For all those who listen to house music, I've been there since all that. I've worked with a lot of South African producers as well. We just released a song yesterday with Mpowav, Cairo, Enonapa, who I've worked with those guys. And so we understand each other on that musical scale. And so, yeah, let's share this vibe. Let's share this music together because the rest of Africa also loves house music.
Definitely.
Yeah, Nigeria is also picking it up really well. They're having big events for house music. And Kenya is also a big hub of these events and festivals. A lot of South African DJs have played in
So-
Kenya and they love the crowd.
And do you think you'd stray from your genre, maybe go to Mapiano or something like that?
I have done on my piano.
Yeah.
Just a few tracks. That's mainly because my brother is a huge DJ on Amapiano. He loves the genre very much. And so, as he's also an upcoming producer, so we've done a couple of tracks with him that are Amapiano based. And Kenyans love it. And I was like, why not? If it's good music that you can give the people, then why not?
I like that. So, as parting shots, what advice would you give to our audience in terms of attaining their own success?
Well, as I came here, I read this. No such thing as an overnight success. It is so true. Even as a young person right now, I get so many comments and compliments,
Yes.
flowers, and yes, I receive the flowers. But some people they tend to think that, first of all, I have made it. I don't know per se, but I think according to them, I have made it.
But according to you?
Not yet. The
Okay.
journey is still long. It is very long. So according to them, I have made it. According to them, I have achieved this and that and this and that. And they really look up to me, which I'm still trying to understand or get used to, kind of thing. I know a lot of my Kenyan brothers and sisters are cheering me on. They really are, which is something I'm happy and feeling blessed and honored about. But the thing is, they probably only see what's on Instagram. That picture with who, that video with who, that they don't know what the hustle was behind that. They don't know the sleepless nights, the stress, the anxiety. And the fact that there's so much paperwork and business behind what they see on Instagram. Because on Instagram,
And understanding the
it's just fancy.
business, understanding the jargon.
Exactly. There's that. Because as an artist, I put myself in a position where I need to understand everything I'm signing, like contracts. I need to
Yes.
understand all that. I need to understand signing away this type of rights, signing away that type of rights. If just something as simple as what collaboration to be in and which are not to be, because you can find time wasters
True.
who will hype you up. Let's do this. And then you go, you sing it, and then they stay with your track for 1 year. They haven't released, they haven't given you a plan for it. They haven't. So some of these things, you don't put them out there. So nobody knows the dirty laundry that is there. But it's the hustle that you must keep up. These are challenges that you have to overcome all the time. For you to, keep your head high and just achieve the bigger picture. I think at the end of the day, it's just getting to that bigger picture despite the challenges that come along.
Thank you. Very wise for your age.
Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure getting to know you, Tina.
Thank you so
I
much
hope
for
you
having
enjoy the rest of your stay in South Africa.
I
And-
hope to. I think I will.
I'm
Yeah.
glad. And looking forward to seeing you in Sbu live on stage.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to that as well.
If you've enjoyed the conversation with Tina, make sure that you like and subscribe to the Success Rate podcast. Make sure you also click on the notification button so you know when new episodes are loaded. And of course, don't forget to comment. I'd like to hear what you enjoyed most about this interview. And please make sure that you share your own journey to success with us as well.